Hi, I'm Anna, and I want to welcome you personally to Narratives That Build. This isn't just a series of episodes, it's a space for stories that have shaped who we are and stories that are still unfolding, stories that are honest, stories that carry weight, stories that might look polished from the outside, but in reality, they've been built through late nights, uncertain starts, and quiet resilience. Now, before we go any further, I want to talk about a moment to share the heart behind the studio, why it exists, why now, and why I believe this kind of storytelling matters more than ever. For a long period of time, I have found myself in spaces where people talk about the outcome, but not always the process, where the success is highlighted, but the layers that shaped it, those stay quiet. We celebrate the ribbon cutting but skip over the years of blueprint. We talk about the awards but not the nights of doubt. We see the confidence in someone's voice but not the first trembling attempt to speak up. Yet the most valuable part of our journey often live in those hidden places, in the pivots no one sees, in the lessons we almost didn't learn, in the moments we rarely pause to name. That's what this studio is for. Not just to document achievement, but to hold space for growth, for meaning, for building one step at a time, even if those steps are small, uneven, or feel like they're not going anywhere. Because here's the truth. Sometimes the smallest step forward changes the whole path. The story behind the stories is my way of starting this series with intention, of saying, I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to be honest, to reflect, to invite you into a process I'm still in. As a speaker, a strategist, and someone who have built things rooted in purpose, I've learned that clarity doesn't always come before the action. Sometimes, just sometimes, it comes through it. And building without having all the answers, that's something I've lived. Season 1 is called Building Without Permission. Because sometimes we don't need the title, a perfect plan, or an external validation to start. We've been taught to wait for approval, for funding, for the bigger platform. But there's a different way. Sometimes you just need a small space, a single idea, and the willingness to start before you are ready. That's what this is. That's what the studio is for. When I started my work, I didn't have all the resources. I didn't have a roadmap. What I did have was the belief that stories could change systems, that the way we speak about ourselves, our communities, our history could shift the way the world responds to us. And that belief, it took me into rooms I didn't expect to be in. From community halls to state offices, from grassroots events to being recognized with senatorial and recognition awards, and the honors from multiple states, cities, and towns. Those recognitions are deeply meaningful to me, not because of the titles or certificates, but because they represent lives impacted and voices amplified and bridges between communities built. This season, I want to strip away the highlight reel. I want to bring you into the messy draft, the trial and error period, the things we learn along the way. Some episodes will be solo, just like this one. Some of them will be conversations with people whose journey inspire me. All of them will ask one question. What does it look like to build with care, clarity, and courage when no one is handing you permission? If you are here, thank you. Whether you found this studio intentionally or stumbled upon it while you were looking for something, I am glad you are here. Because this is more than just a podcast. It is an archive. It's a mirror. It's a reminder that the stories we tell and the way we tell them have the power to shape what comes next. This is Narratives That Build, and this is just the beginning.